Hey guys, welcome back to Wheels of Mercury. It's been a hot minute since I made a video actually. It's been about maybe 3 or 4 or even 5 months. Heck, I don't know man. Anyways, hello, welcome back to Wheels of Mercury. This is going to be another albums worth a mention segment, or A.W.A.M. for short. For those of you who are unaware, this is where I take certain underrated albums from any genre and give them the credit they deserve. So I decided to make it a bit of a themed one for this second A.W.A.M. video. This is gonna focus on obscure metal gems. I'm doing 6 obscure releases from the world of metal that I think are worth your time in order of release from the oldest to the newest. And before I start, I want to thank the Heavy Metal Maniac channel, for which I discovered 3 of those bands from. And a 4th from a comment left on one of those uploads. We'll get to that. That channel is a goldmine for unknown 80s heavy metal bands. And it was inactive for a long time actually, but had just gotten back up its feet. And it has a new logo, which I'll have beside my head right here. And yeah, it's back and kicking ass, and I think you should go check that bad boy out, because he uploads some killer albums. So anyway, let's get to it. We are starting off this list with Poisonoid, the one and only album released by the German hard rock and heavy metal band The Hand of Doom back in 1979. I discovered it thanks to a commenter by the name of Erlaz on an upload of Mercy's 1982 EP. I'll get to that one in a bit. This first album by The Hand of Doom had the energy of the Stooges with this singer named Andreas Rosner, who was better known by his nickname Iggy after the singer from the Stooges. And he had this very unhinged sort of delivery, splattered in this very thick German accent that is so engaging and so much fun to listen to. One reviewer on the Metal Archives brought up Attila Cesare, or however you say his name, from the infamous black metal band Mayhem as a comparison. But I don't think that's personally accurate in my opinion. To me, he actually has Elvis-like tendencies on the first track. There ain't no running away. The hand of doom will get you. There ain't no running away. The hand of doom will get you. Oh, so catchy. But anyway, the closest to his style that I can say he resembles is like Glenn Danzig if he was having a panic attack at all times. The song do remain catchy the whole way through, with some early A.W.A.M influence at times, and for the only thing they've ever officially put out, this is a solid, fun release. Definitely check it out if you happen to be a fan of hard rock or punk like Danzig or the Stooges, or if you just want some manic energy in your punk-inflected rock music. The next 3 releases all came out in the year of 1982, starting with In Days of Heavy Metal, the only release by the Canadian metal band Breaker, hailing from none other than Calgary, Alberta. This EP is a joyous little thing, with a raw, syrupy production not too far off from stuff like Crystal Logic from Manila Road that would come out soon after. The phased out sort of post-punk guitars give it a very unique feel that to me is really amazing. I don't know if that was intentional or a bit of an accident, But in any case, it really gives off this cool effect, and I'm not sure I have ever really come across in metal all that often outside of Manila Road, truth be told. The only thing that holds it back slightly is that the logo kind of sounds like Dave Mustaine from Megadeth at points. And that would definitely, honestly, throw some people off. But it's still a great release. Definitely check this out if you happen to be a fan of slightly off-kilter heavy metal, especially of US power metal, like A.W.A.M, Manila Road, and bands like that. Next up from 1982 is the second ever release from the Swedish metal band Mercy, an EP appropriately titled Swedish Metal. If any of you are familiar with the history of the epic doom metal band Candlemass, then you might know of Mercy of being the band Messiah Marcolin, the short guy with the really big voice. He was in this band before Candlemass, but this EP predates Messiah by like a few years. Instead, it featured the drummer Paul Judas Gustafson and this Croatian singer by the name of Andrea Valjeka. I think I butchered that, but I'm just gonna roll with it. Sharing vocal duties. And this incarnation of the band had a wildly different sound on the EP too, going for this very interesting style of heavy metal played in a way very reminiscent of like mid-1950s rockabilly groups. To paraphrase Elijah's comment from earlier, it really does feel like it was played by guys who grew up on stuff like Buddy Holly and Bill Haley and its comics, but only recently discovered heavy metal within the last 2 years or so. There's nothing really else I can really say about it. It's just a super unique little German metal that I think you guys should check out. Lastly, from 1982, and perhaps the most influential and later extreme metal and especially black metal, is Satan's Angel, the demo from the vastly underrated German thrash metal band Holy Moses. You might know them because they have a new album coming out. It probably already came out. That is their last album ever. But we're going back to the beginning on this one, folks. And what was most influential about this 1982 demo was the vocals of Sabina Hertz. She was doing legitimate black metal shrieks on this demo long before Dead from Mayhem or Nocturnal Culto from Dark Zone was even doing those kind of vocals in the 90s. The vocals are honestly insane for 1982 and so far ahead of its time that you could swear that they were Dark Zone songs. For those of you who have seen Wyatt Sim's video on the origins of black metal and his argument of Amoebics, the crust punk band Amoebics, being the first band to play a style close to the modern sound of black metal, I feel like he should hear this. Because this, in my humble opinion, could be the genesis, the missing link that black metal was first born out of. If you're interested in some really extreme vocals done all the way back in 1982, check this thing out. The second to last entry on this list is one of my favorite underground metal 80s releases ever. Tales of Darkness and Light, the 1989 debut full-length by the Canadian epic heavy metal band Thunder Rider. Aside from a few TV appearances around our local stations in Montreal that I could find here on YouTube, this band is very obscure still. And that's a crying shame because this album is excellent. They have a sound that might remind people of a cross between a band like Atlantean Codex or Candlemass or Manila Road with a bit of a gesso toe like flute action courtesy of vocalist John Blackman. And he was doing the flute long before Shagga Showa from Black Braid was doing it now. I'm not saying Black Braid took influence from this obscure metal band from Montreal, but it kind of makes you wonder, eh? Speaking of John, he sounds like a deeper Mark the Shark Shelton at times, but overall he has this very unique voice that gives off a lot of character and charm. Tracks like Executioner and Rain Dance show off a knack for great effective songwriting, great hooks, and a penchant for dark fantasy lyrics and positive imagery. Another example of the latter can be found in the track For Christ's Sake, included on the 1997 CD re-release, which is a cry for those to be free from the devil's grasp. Unlike some metalheads, I'm not personally against Christian lyrics. Heck, I love Witch Hazel and Theocracy. They're some of my favorite bands. And I don't think this lyrical angle that, that Thunder Rider used should put you off from this album. But the magnum opus of this album really comes in the form of the 8-minute Galaxy, a beautiful semi-ballad that is all about our curiosity with the cosmos. Something that is growing more and more prevalent these days with things like space tourism being talked about. Overall, this album is an underrated gem of ethereally epic metal and deserves to be heard by those who love for metal adventurous, weird, and swampy. Highly, highly recommended. And this brings us, guys, gals, and non-binary pals, to paraphrase from my good buddy Robert Walton from the Metal Meltdown, to the most recent of these obscure gems. This is the obscurest of the obscure. Are you ready to hear about this album, folks? Well, let me tell you about this mysterious self-titled LP, released only on a limited run of 100 cassettes by a Bulgarian band called A.W.A.M. I'm going to have the name right down here. I can't really pronounce it, so do with it what you will. I found out about this band due to a channel called Death Fetish. This guy uploads very obscure metal bands, and I'm just gonna have to say it right off the bat. He uploads whatever he feels like, regardless of it being sketchy or not. So, just to give an example, he uploads Black Magic SS a lot. But he also uploads a band like Curtain Wall, which is anti-fascist. So, do with that information what you will. I will not put his channel in the description. But if you're morbidly curious, you could check out the channel out on your own time. Just be wary, because some of the bands have imagery that would probably get you in trouble if you live in Germany. Just throwing that out there. Back to this Bulgarian band, who doesn't seem like they could be sketchy. I could be wrong, blah blah. That's beside the point. Death Fetish had free download links in the comments of the upload. They're all gone now, but I managed to get a download before all that happened, so yeah. The music played by this Bulgarian doom collective is mostly black and doom metal, with psychedelic touches here and there. Things like Bethlehem with like weird Pink Floyd-esque tendencies here and there. I'm also weirdly reminded of some tracks off of the Greek stoner rock crew Naxatras debut record, especially the opening track. The other interesting thing is that out of the 5 Roman numeral tracks that make up this record, only the second and the fourth one have vocals, and they're both in the native Bulgarian. The second one's vocals have like these blackened shrieks, and the fourth one add these weird trippy effects to the vocals. They'll really add like a sort of a creepy, disorienting atmosphere for the whole thing, accentuated by organs and bells and stuff like that to really create a really potent effect on the listener. I should note that the download I got came with the credits and lyrics as well as this creepy artwork. Just look at that. Just look at that. That's really creepy, eh? If you are a doom metal fan that is tired of the same old Black Sabbath, Candlemass, Sleep, Electric Wizard clones, and if you want something that's insanely obscure and insanely experimental, look no further. You found the obscurest of the obscure. Now, go listen to it, but if you don't want to check out that Death Fetish channel, I wouldn't blame you. Do with the information what you will. And that does it, folks, for this newest segment of Albums Worth a Mention, or A.W.A.M. Links to the albums will be provided in the description below so you can listen for yourself. As always, rock on, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Oh, and congratulations for getting me to 100 subscribers. If you want to keep that train going, click the subscribe button and notification bell. Give it a thumbs up. Yeah, and the next video will probably be me reviewing a certain band, which is my favorite band of all time, and I'll have you guys guess what that is. Tell me down below in the comments. Go ahead, guess what my favorite band of all time is. I'll give you a hint. They're coming out with an album on the 25th of August. Rock on, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.